Hey everyone. So in the last couple of weeks, I've had at least a dozen folks kind of reach out to me, talk about the BRRRR strategy, buy, repair, rent, refi, repeat, and out-of-state investing. And unfortunately, each and every one of those stories has not ended well. There's been talk of contractors ripping them off. There has been talk of real estate agents over exaggerating ARV. There have been talks of tenant quality and evictions and just all of these things. And I finally got to the point where I had to put it out there. I've created a quick 10 points PowerPoint that we can talk about, but doing the BRRRR strategy out of state for the first time at the top of a market is, generally speaking, a horrible idea. Yes, it can work. You can also win at roulette by picking numbers. It's just not very likely. And I don't like hearing the stories from people who had the best of intention. They believed the hype. They read a couple of books and then they got taken advantage of. So if you're thinking about BRRRR, out of state, first time in today's market, please look at these 10 points and let me know what you think. So let me bring it up. Okay. All right. So again, 10 reasons why it is the wrong time to start out-of-state BRRRR investing. Before I get into this, I want it to be known that I think BRRRR is a tremendous strategy. I think it has been a great strategy the last 10 years. If you have experience, you're in a market, you have a team, you have all of these things, it is still a wonderful strategy. I am specifically talking to the person who's looking out of state, first time, and suggesting that this is the wrong time. I've just had too many conversations of late, people reading books, watching YouTube University, and losing. So let me put it out there. First, the last 10 years have been the absolute best time to do out-of-state investing. We were coming off a bottom. Everybody was scared. Values were artificially low. Lending got increasingly easy. Unfortunately, now we have lots of people writing books and claiming success and documented success. You can see it. Unfortunately, I am here to remind you that being successful the last 10 years was easy. Unfortunately, I don't suspect the next 10 years will be as easy. So past success does not mean future success. Now, if you've been doing BRRRR that started before the collapse, much respect. But a lot of people have been doing it 5 years and now they're trying to sell books and courses and all that stuff. The market's different. I mean, I wish they were just upfront and honest about how hard it is today. So again, past success, even documented success does not mean future success. The other thing that's really important, if you're looking out of state, you probably live in a very expensive part of the country. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard an investor say, oh my gosh, that little cute house would cost X in city Y. It's cost less than a new car in this other Midwest city. Well, all of those statements may be true. They also don't matter. I know that there's people that are doing out-of-state investing that when they call agents and sellers in other markets, you're getting taken advantage of. You're being laughed at. It doesn't feel good to be laughed at. You're the sucker in the room. There's often this joke about, hey, if you don't know who the patsy is at a poker table, you're it. A lot of out-of-state investors who are just starting and excited by the books and videos, you're the sucker. You're the sap. you're the one that's going to be hurt. You're going to lose money. I'm sorry. If you're just starting out, there are so many points of failure, especially heading into a market that's flattening or turning down. If unemployment picks up, oh, it's going to be painful. Too many points, lost time, lost money, and stress. I just frankly don't see how the upside is worth the downside today. All of my life, I've tried to control the downside and let upside take care of itself. There sure is upside. And again, remember, I'm talking to the person who hasn't done this, doesn't have a team, lives out of state, never been to the city. Just remember who I'm speaking to. It's hard. It's hard. There is tons of downside today and very, very limited upside. I'm sorry. You can never, nobody has a crystal ball, but I feel confident in saying that sometime in the future, the economy will turn. And when that happens, you're not going to want to own this inventory. Those markets who have record low unemployment, it's going to skyrocket. You're going to start having evictions and tenant quality issues. And you're going to start to know why people were laughing at you when you overpaid. You're going to find out why that house has always been a $25K house. And it's not going to be fun. The worst part, when this turns around and you're stuck with something you don't want, is there will be no buyers. All the out-of-state buyers will retrench because they're afraid. All the local buyers are going to lowball the heck out of you because they know you made a mistake. So you're going to be stuck with this thing that just sucks money from your account every month. It's not going to be fun. I've looked at lots of videos, read some books, and I'm very disappointed at how easy the authors and speakers try to make it sound. There's frankly not enough talk about the market changing, lending changing, how to avoid mistakes that cost significant dollars. And again, I have a dozen investors call me just in the last couple of weeks talking about, I lost money, but I learned. That's an expensive lesson, especially if you were to step back and go, is now the right time? Also, these investors that are talking to me have said that, they spent, I don't know, a little bit of time learning their markets and looking at Google Street Views and Zillow, and they suddenly felt educated. I think it's arrogant to think that that's enough. There are local investors in every big market that you're looking out of state. And to think that you're going to get lucky repeatedly online and find deals that local investors aren't finding is simply arrogant. There are reasons why nobody is buying that house on that street, because they know something you don't know. Yes, it could work out. Yes, you could get lucky. But don't count on it in this market where everybody wants a good deal. I know how sexy it is to think you could borrow 100% of the money. Go to your local hard money lender, borrow the purchase price, borrow the repairs, rub your hands together, and 3 months later you have a house and you can refi them out because you're 70% of ARV. I get it. I understand. Unfortunately, the market's different today. And you've got to be ready to get some skin in the game. It is certainly possible. But again, if you're a new investor who just got bit by the real estate bug and you're looking at BRRRR, out of state, never done a deal, don't have a team, you're going to lose most of the time. So by losing, what it means is you're not going to be able to get 100% of the capital back. So if you go into a deal, let's just do simple math, that ARV is going to be 100, and you can buy it and repair it for 70 and cover all the transaction costs and everything in that 70. I understand why it looks good on an Excel spreadsheet. But again, based on the people calling me, the repair times were 2 to 3 times as long. The repairs were significantly higher, and some had to be redone because people broke in and stole stuff. And ultimately the ARV was up, was estimated too high. BRRRR is hard. And again, to think that you could do it just by looking online a couple of times and finding a deal and looking at Zillow and all of that. Again, remember, you are competing with local investors who have been there their entire life. This market is hot. Inventory is low. Everybody is looking for a deal. Be careful. I also know about recycling capital as a great strategy. And frankly, it is why we executed BRRRR so often in our business, because we had 40 or 50 grand or whatever it was. And when the market was at its depth of depression, we could pick up a house, fix it up in 6 weeks, and go get our money back. BRRRR was a huge part of our success, but we used it in 2010, 11, 12, 13, when the market was bottoming and rising. We no longer use BRRRR because it's even risky for us. And we've been doing this 20 years. We're looking for other strategies. Again, I will say that again. We are not doing BRRRR today because we think BRRRR is risky even for our business today. I believe a BRRRR done repeatedly can bleed you dry, as your ARV is estimated too high, as your repairs are estimated too low, and it just goes bad from there. What you really, really, really need to do is learn your market. You need to go spend some time there. You need to talk to people. You need to look at it every day. And I would tell you, don't even look at it from a strategy of BRRRR or buy and hold or flip. I think you just need to watch it and start to feel the ebbs and flows and see what's selling and not selling and price drops and days on market, because it is changing and changing, frankly, pretty rapidly today. So go get the pulse of your market. Spend 90 days learning your market. Don't get too excited. Don't jump in too quick because you're going to lose. Don't be that person who joins the party late, right? There's been a party going on since 6 o'clock. You come at 11, everybody's already tipsy and drunk, and you want to jump in and catch up. So you just start pounding the drinks and try to catch up to the buzz. And by the time you're there, they're coming off. And you don't know what hit you because you slammed 5 hours of alcohol in a 30-minute window or whatever it is. If you're doing that, you're ignoring the basic checks and balances. And that's not going to end well for you. They're going to leave the party. You're going to be there hammered and passed out. And you're going to wonder where all your money went. The biggest thing that annoys me with the BRRRR strategy today and what I see is there's no acknowledgement that the last 5 to 10 years have been a special time. It may go down as the absolute best time because we came off the real estate depression to ever execute BRRRR. You had a 6 to 8 year window where you almost couldn't go wrong. And there are people that have done this hundreds of times and built up big portfolios. And I wish them congratulations. I just think BRRRR at the top of the market is not as easy. Again, it is possible. If you've done it and you have a team and your checks and balances and you're running it like a business, go for it. I am talking to that first person who read a book and is hoping this is going to save them. It's probably not. It's probably going to cost you money. We're not at the bottom. We're at the top of the market. So at the end, if you're still watching this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like. Again, I am really trying to help people and prevent them from losing money. If you want to know what I mean by learning your market, I do have a course. It is what we did in a market that we never lived in, never spent the night in. Talks about how to evaluate the market, picking your inventory, comparing deals. I think it's ridiculously cheap. It's listed at $199. I give you a coupon code called BOOK20, so BOOK20. That will get you $20 off, and it will get you an autographed version or autographed book, one rental at a time, our 15-year story. That was just highlighted by Forbes as one of the 15 books. As actually book number 3 in that list that all real estate investors should read, which was a huge honor. So again, Buy the course, link below, $179. So it's like a month of cash flow, and you're going to get an autographed book. Hope that makes sense. Have a great day and take care.